On a quiet night in Japan, a young girl walks alone through the dimly lit streets. Suddenly, from a distance, a woman appears, her face half hidden behind a medical mask. She blocks the girl's path and asks in a soft but unsettling voice.
私、綺麗?
Startled, the girl stammers nervously.
はい、綺麗です.
But then, the masked woman slowly pulls down her mask. In today's video, we'll explore one of Japan's most terrifying and well-known urban legends, Kuchisake Onna.
Kuchisake Onna.
Long before she became a ghostly figure feared across Japan, Kuchisake Onna was once an ordinary woman. Her real name has long been forgotten, buried in whispers and folklore, but the story paints her as a woman admired for her beauty. In the streets of a quiet Japanese town, she was often seen walking gracefully, her long black hair swaying with every step. Neighbors would greet her politely, and many envied her charm. She looks like a noble woman, people would whisper, though in truth, she lived a modest life. Her beauty, however, was both a blessing and a curse. Men were drawn to her, sometimes too much, causing jealousy among other women. Rumors began to spread, whispers about her vanity, her pride, and how she would often look at her reflection for hours. At home, her life was far less perfect than what outsiders imagined. Some versions of the legend say she was married to a powerful samurai, others say she was a concubine, or the wife of a wealthy man. But all stories agree on one thing: her life, once seemingly normal, was twisted by jealousy, anger, and betrayal. Each day, she would carefully apply makeup, smoothing white powder on her skin, painting her lips a deep red. By the way, the makeup she used to adorn her face wasn't like modern makeup. It was traditional Japanese makeup, such as ashiroi, white powder used to make the skin look smooth and pale, typical of geisha and women in the Edo period. Beni, red lipstick made from natural pigments, often mixed with oil. Kumadori, or simple eye accents, light lines or colors around the eyes, adding a touch of drama while still keeping it traditional. Back to the story. She loved to hear compliments about her beauty, perhaps too much. Her husband, however, began to grow suspicious.
Was she seeing another man? Did her vanity mean she cared more for her reflection than for him?
The household that once seemed peaceful became filled with tension. To the outside world, she kept up her appearance. In festivals, she still wore elegant kimonos, receiving admiring glances wherever she went. But beneath the surface, a storm was brewing, one that would forever change her fate. At first, her life seemed nothing short of perfect. Behind her sweet smile and captivating beauty, however, a dark secret slowly began to unravel. Her husband, once warm and affectionate, began to change. The tender gaze that used to comfort her turned cold and sharp. Whispers of gossip reached his ears, rumors that his wife had been unfaithful. Love turned into a fire of jealousy that could not be extinguished. One night, when her husband returned home drunk, a violent quarrel erupted. Harsh words flew through the air, accusations were hurled again and again. In his madness, he seized his samurai sword. With a single, brutal motion, he slashed his wife's mouth from ear to ear. Blood poured endlessly as her screams echoed into the night. "What have I done? Why would you do this to me?" The woman cried out in agony.
Now, who will ever call you beautiful again?
He sneered, before leaving his wife collapsed on the floor. Half alive, the woman reached for her face. Her mouth was torn wide open, blood still dripping endlessly. At that moment, her love transformed into hatred, her pain into vengeance. And from this story, the legend of Kuchisake Onna, the Slit-Mouthed Woman, was born. However, the story of Kuchisake Onna does not stop at the terrifying tale we heard earlier. Behind this mysterious figure, there are actually many different versions of the legend that have spread across Japan. One of the most popular versions is the one I told you earlier, that she was once the wife of a samurai. But there's also a more modern version. Some say she wasn't an ancient ghost at all, but a victim of medical malpractice, a plastic surgery patient whose operation went horribly wrong. The failed procedure left terrifying scars on her face, filling her with hatred and turning her into a vengeful spirit. Another, more urban version connects her to modern life. Some people claim to have seen Kuchisake Onna often appearing near schools or lonely streets. It is said she blends into the crowd, wearing a mask, without anyone realizing who she really is. And of course, after hearing all these versions, it's no surprise that people in Japan invented several ways to escape Kuchisake Onna. For example, when she asked,
私、綺麗?
"Am I beautiful?" Instead of answering yes or no, some believe you should reply with something vague like,
まあまあ。
This would confuse her long enough for you to run away. Another, stranger version says that if you throw candies or sweets on the ground, she will stop chasing you to pick them up, giving you a chance to escape. This belief became especially popular among Japanese school children. And perhaps the most famous weakness is saying the word pomade 3 times. According to certain stories, Kuchisake Onna absolutely hates the smell of pomade. The moment she hears it, she screams and disappears. This method is closely linked to the failed surgery version because the doctor who treated her supposedly used pomade at that time. Her story grew even more popular in the modern era. In 1979, Japan was shaken by a massive rumor. Sightings of Kuchisake Onna were reported across the country. The panic spread so quickly that schools ordered children to walk home in groups, afraid someone might become her victim. It was even said that the police increased patrols just to calm the public. Since then, Kuchisake Onna has become firmly established as a Japanese urban legend. Believe it or not. But one thing is certain. If one night you find yourself walking alone and a masked woman suddenly asks,
私、綺麗?
"Am I beautiful?" what would your answer be? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And that was the chilling story of Kuchisake Onna, one of Japan's most terrifying urban legends. What do you think? Do you believe she's just a story, or could she really exist, lurking in the shadows of Japan's quiet streets? From this tale, we can learn something important. Unchecked jealousy, rage, and resentment can destroy not only others, but ourselves as well. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to hit the like button, drop a comment with your thoughts or suggestions, and share this video with your friends who love spooky stories. And of course, subscribe to Sketch Stories by UC and ring the bell icon so you won't miss any of the eerie tales coming soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!